Hi, welcome back to Chanel's World. In my world, I have a little bit of something for everyone. So if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, I thank you so much. It is always good to see familiar faces. You guys see what I have on, so you know what that means. That's right, it's another episode of In the Kitchen with Chanel. On the menu tonight, oh, we got pot roast, carrots, potatoes. Oh yeah, we got all the fixings tonight. So we're gonna jump right into this recipe. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Become part of the World Star family. We would love to see you here. And go ahead and please hit the thumbs up for your girl. I would really appreciate it. So without further ado, this is my recipe only. Cook at your discretion, but let's get into this delicious, delicious recipe. Let's go. All right, so here's my pot roast. I have already washed it and I've seasoned it. I have some pepper on here, a little lemon pepper, a little garlic, some paprika. You can use the seasonings of your choice, but this is what I like to use here. I have it in my roasting pan. Here I have my potatoes and carrots. Now you ask why they're in this bowl. Simple. If you've cooked with me before, then you know that I like to have my veggies seasoned. There's nothing like getting into something that's bland and doesn't taste good. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my potatoes and carrots and line it right around the sides of my pot roast. I've already chopped up my onions and mushrooms. Those are next to me. We're going to add those in next. And as you can see, I'm not really putting it like right on top of the meat. I'm kind of, because I have a smaller pot roast, I'm able to kind of just stick them like right along the sides here. Okay. Got a lot of potatoes because those seem to go first. So now here I have my onions. Can you guys see that? My onions and my mushrooms. And I'm just going to kind of drizzle those. Right on top. I'm going to spread out my mushrooms because I don't want them to all just cook in one spot. Okay, so you want to make sure that those are distributed evenly. So I have them in ringlets, but you can cut it however you want to, or you don't have to use onions, but they really like onions here. So, and then the mushrooms. Now, I like for my pot roast to cook with a gravy. So I'm going to make up my own little juices here to give it, I don't want to add a gravy in later. I want the pot roast to cook and to form its own gravy. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that in 1 second. So now you see my pot is full. But from when I use the potatoes, see this, I have some juice and seasoning left over. That's what I'm going to use I'm going to use that juice and I'm going to mix in to make my roux, to make the gravy, okay? I'm going to tap you guys right back in once I get my measuring cup. Okay, so what I did was I took the leftover juice and that was there. I added some more water to it, and this is just all-purpose flour. Now, I put some in here. As you can see, it's still liquidy. I want it thicker, so I'm just going to continue to add more flour to it. I have my whisk here because the one thing you don't want is you don't want any lumps, okay? So I'm just going to stir this. And you can have this as thick as you want, or you don't have to do this part. But I like to do this. That way it cooks with the gravy, and I don't have to worry about it at the end. Just a pot roast with good juices and gravy is the best part. So as you can see, it's still, I need it to go thicker. So I'm going to add a couple more spoons. And yes, I see it's still clumpy, but we're going to get those lumps and clumps out. Okay, so make sure you get the sides because you don't want anything clumpy in there. And in case you missed it, this is just some pepper, seasoning salt, the same mixtures that I put on here, and a little garlic. And it's reddish because y'all know I put paprika on everything, okay? Okay. I'm not really a big fan of cooking with pure salt, so that's why you didn't see any of that. But I do have pepper in here. So it's coming along. It's getting a little thicker, but I almost want it to be like milkshake consistency, okay? So as you can see that? So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more flour in here. And then I'm going to tap you guys back in. I should have maybe, you want to go slow because you can always add in, but you can't take away. Remember that. So I want to go for maybe 2 more, okay? Okay, finally, this is what we're looking for. Remember I said you want it thick? Like that. That's what I'm looking for. So then you want to just take your spoon and make sure nothing, even though we were whisking it, nothing settled at the bottom, because you don't want those clumps, because that'll be chalky clumps in your food, okay? Now, this is ready. So I'm just going to take, yeah, I made a little mess, but it's okay. So I'm just going to take my mixture and I'm going to pour it over the entire. Now you want to make sure you get everything, get down all in those little pockets. I already have my oven preset on 350. And I'm just going to let this bad boy cook until it's nice and tender. So now I'm checking to see how much liquid I have in there and if I have enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the side just to make sure. Oh, we are good. So now I'm just going to kind of toss those mushrooms and onions around a little bit. And this will have a lid and it is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to start this at about an hour and maybe 1:45. We'll check on it after then. About an hour and 45 or so to 2 hours. We'll check on it. But this is going in the oven. Simple, easy peasy. Can you see me? All right. So while the pot roast is in the oven cooking, we're gonna go on to the next part of the meal, which is also easy. If you were with me during the summer, then you know one of my favorite things to do was to grill fresh corn. I'm not grilling today, but I am going to make some fresh corn. I saw it at the market, and I was like, I'm getting this. So what I've already, before I even bring it home, I pre-shuck it in the store, which means take the husk off, just to see, to make sure that it's fresh, okay? So I've already peeled off all the little hairs, and I've washed it. So this is what you see here. So I'm just going to take these out. Sometimes, if they're really big, I'll break them in half. But these are kind of skinny guys, so the one I might break. Or maybe I'll leave them. No, she's not breaking. So I'm going to leave them whole, okay? All right. You can't buy that, okay? So there it is. So I'm going to put my water in. And if you cooked corn with me before, then you know, in order to sometimes draw out some of the sweetness from the corn, you put a little milk in it. Oh yeah, if you didn't know that, now you know. If this is your first time watching, put some milk in that fresh corn. So I have my corn here. I really wanted to break that one. I did. So I'm going to actually put some more. Okay. And then you put however much milk you want. But I just kind of eyeball it as little as you want. Doesn't matter. And then you're just going to take some butter. So this is three teaspoons of butter, tablespoons of butter. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to put it on the stove, because that is the second piece to the dinner. See how easy that was? You blinked, and I did it. So we're going to get that on. All I need to do is put a lid. Now let's work on dessert. Ooh, you can't have Sunday's dinner without dessert. So far, as you're just tuning in, we have pot roast, potatoes and carrots with mushrooms and onions in the oven. Right here, we have fresh, this is going to be butter corn once it's done. Melt in your mouth corn. Now, let's think of a dessert. I think I got something in mind. All right, so the timer just went off. Let's check and see. It has been about 2.5 hours. Ooh-wee. There it is, the pot roast, and you see it has its own gravy because we made the gravy sauce to it. Right next to it, we have our corn that is ready. It's still boiling. There it is. In the oven is a cornbread. It has about 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes, Dougie Fresh, you are on. So that is how you make an easy pot roast that looks like you've been in the kitchen all day. Oh, and I'll add a clip in of the dessert that I made. Oh, I didn't forget the dessert. As always, I thank you guys for watching. Be good to yourselves. Love yourselves. And then love someone else. Love some pot roast too, because there it is. Until next time, guys, I wish you all peace and blessings. I thank you guys for watching. You know what I'm going to say now. Bye! I'm going to actually go ahead and stir it. I'm going to put a spoon in there so you guys can see how thick the gravy is. Look at that. Look at that. The potatoes are nice and tender. There's a piece of meat right there. You see? Nice and tender. Oh, yeah. Nothing else to do but plate it and eat it. Thanks for watching.
Given that's how we live it, don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.